All right. Hello, my name is Michael Satiris. I will be doing my devil's advocate on Prince Mohammed bin Salman. Excuse me if I do not pronunciate these names correctly. I will certainly try my best. There is a lot of them. I probably won't pronounce it correctly, so sorry. Um, I will be starting off with the introduction and background of Prince Mohammed bin Salman, who he is and what he does through his childhood to present. Prince Mohammed bin Salman was born on August 31st, 1985 in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. He is also a member of the Saudi royal family, a minister of defense, the crown prince of Saudi Arabia, and the son of Saudi King Salman bin Abdulaziz. As a child, Muhammad had a high interest in the government and shadowed his father since he was a kid to learn as much as he could about it. He continued his education into law in 2007, where he then founded a number of firms and nonprofit organizations which intended to promote entrepreneurship into the kingdom. Shortly after, in 2009, he became the formal advisor to his father, which was then the governor of Riyadh. Only shortly after that, and again in 2012, Salman was crowned prince in 2012. In 2015, there was a tragic accident. Saudi Arabia's king, Abdullah, died after ruling in 2005 and was to be age 90 at the time of death, which was also caused by a lung infection. Soon after Salman was appointed king, he then sprang into action and turned his son into the defense minister. With only a few months gone by, Mohammed launched an aggressive military intervention in Yemen's civil war, aka Operation Decisive Storm. What kind of man is Prince Mohammed bin Salman? Well, Mohammed has been seen as a dangerous man for killing the innocents. Those who aim to go against him or who are not with him are seen to be killed or never found. Mohammed is one who is seen as reckless for not taking the consideration of other matters into hand first when crowned prince, but rather his own matters first. Thus, this will bring me to the main topic regarding Prince Mohammed, the war in Yemen. Muhammad was accused of killing innocents in the war, and that his intervention in the war should have never happened. It cost the country millions, and for what those may say, for it had only brought them to a stalemate. My outlook on Prince Muhammad is me telling you the other side of history through his eyes, so try to have an open heart. Let us look through the reasons why he did what he did and see what good he was trying to bring out of it. Let us first ask some questions and look at it from a different point of view. Let us take a look at the opposing team during the war in Yemen. Why did he even join the war in Yemen in the first place? Who was it that made Muhammad join the war? Did his family have an intervention or influence on him joining the war in the Yemen war? Did his country want him to go to war? First, let us start with why. The why is the Houthis, not the Saudi Arabians. The Houthis is a large clan that originated from the Yemen's Sada province. The Houthi insurgents have clashed with Yemen's government for more than a decade. So this is already a problem in Yemen for their people. Since then, the Houthi movement has expanded beyond its Zayadi roots and become a wider movement opposed to the president Abd Ruba Mansur Hadi. Another great question to ask is if they are clashing with Yemen's government, then who is supporting them? That would be the Iranians. For they have supported the Houthis' cause because they consider it as a movement as part of the successful Islamic awakening. Are the Houthis dangerous and should they be dealt with? Yes, they should be. They should be, and not Saudi Arabia. For in 2014, the Houthis seized government buildings. They attack the Islah headquarters. They don't listen to their own government of Yemen, so they reject whoever became the new cabinet member. They blow up buildings belonging to Al-Islah in Sana'a. In 2015, they forced Hadi to resign from under pressure from the Houthi rebels. Do you think this is enough evidence to pursue the war on Yemen yet? As you can clearly see, joining the war to Muhammad was the only logical thing at the time, to re-establish Yemen to its rightful rulers and establish new members the correct way, rather than using force. So Muhammad had engaged into Yemen to help these people protect them. He was simply trying to lead a military coalition against the Houthi insurgency in Yemen to help aid the war in efforts and bring everything to an end. The princesses had an idea for joining the war in Yemen, which was to have a final comprehensive peace. Next, we refer to who had influence over Muhammad's decision to go to war with Yemen. Rather than thinking that Prince Muhammad came up with this idea on his own, and thus he is a madman, the answer is rather simple. His father, Saudi King Salman bin Abdulaziz, he urged the international community to halt Iran's nuclear programs and asked for UN support to help end the war on Yemen. The father mentions how Iran is such a bad influence on other countries, and that it is no surprise that there is even a war in Yemen in the first place. The father continues to mention that Iranians have always intervened in the internal affairs to other countries, promoted terrorism, and created chaos and devastation in many countries in the region. His father pushed for an ending in Iranian nuclear program so they may stop their activities of threats and instability. So it comes by no surprise that his son followed in his father's footsteps by taking action in Yemen to help bring peace to the citizens of Yemen, but instead was only further ridiculed for his actions and how much distraught and stress he brought into himself and his nation. If this does not shed some light onto the Prince Mohammed bin Salman, then put yourself in their shoes for a moment. Of a Yemen citizen, on one average morning, you wake up to only find out that the president of Yemen, Abd Ruba Mansur Hadi, has been moved out of office by the Houthi movement due to economic and political grievances and has fled to Saudi Arabia. You now have an army of people that no longer listen to your president and want control of their own country. Would you fight for their president, or would you join forces with the Houthi? And that concludes my presentation.